Jacqueline. Welcome back to Dreams of Music and Makeup, or welcome here if it's your first time. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today I thought we would do a little eye tutorial together. I'm gonna do one off camera and then come back and match the other side with you guys like we've been doing for the last couple of eye tutorials. We are gonna be playing around with the Modern Renaissance by Anastasia. I did recently pick this up in the Sephora VIB sale for November. I've been adoring this palette. We're gonna play around with it a little bit. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. I'm gonna go ahead and do one eye off camera real quick and then I will be back in a few minutes. Alright, I am back. I tried to use one of the colors in here that I had not really touched yet, and that is Love Letter. I thought it would be important to include this one in this look. I also included one of my favorite shades, Antique Bronze. This shade they do not sell individually, and it is exclusive to this palette as far as I know. I did try to snag it in the Black Friday sale that Anastasia had, but that shade was not listed as one of their individuals, so now we know. First off, I'm going to take our Wet n Wild Fluffy Crease Brush and go in with a little bit of Golden Ochre. Just so you know, I prepped my lids with, unfortunately, it's a discontinued eye primer by Kat Von D. It was her Squeeze Tube one, this High Voltage eye primer by Kat Von D, the Prime and Correct. That's why my eyelids are so yellow. It's one of the best eyelid primers I owned, so I'm using that one today. Forgive me, I know you can't get a hold of that. I believe this is the first video debuting my new haircut, so please be nice. If this is not your favorite, that's okay. You don't have to tell me that this is not your favorite. I'm also gonna mix a little bit of burnt orange with golden ochre and start building that crease a little bit. My first ever keto Thanksgiving, which was great. I mean, not that everything at my Thanksgiving was keto, but let's keep going with this. I'm gonna now mix a little bit of burnt orange and raw sienna and continue to build that crease. I had turkey, obviously, because I can have protein on keto. It's just a carb thing, so we made mashed cauliflower with like cheese and stuff to kind of imitate mashed potatoes because we couldn't have that. My one cheat item that I had a very small piece of a potato casserole because I find that my body doesn't react the same way if I cheat with potatoes and starches that are easily digestible for my body as opposed to like complex carbs or baked goods. I have a lot of issues if I cheat with those items. I'm gonna use this kind of pointed synthetic brush. You don't need this one in particular, thankfully, because they don't make it anymore. This is a Morphe E22. My ferrule actually is unglued and does not stay in place. It drives me crazy because it like creaks. I'm gonna mix a little bit of Buon Fresco and Love Letter and start building that into our crease. This is gonna seem scary, I promise. It's gonna be okay. It just takes a little bit of building. You don't want to go in with too much product to begin with. I'm gonna pick up the last brush we used and blend out the edge a little bit. Actually gonna grab a little bit more of those last two transition shades we used. Pinks and reds can be harder to blend out seamlessly without adding a little bit of shadow. That's why I find that I keep going back and forth to build this look so that it doesn't get muddy. Now I'm picking up a C441 Pro blending crease by Crown Brush, and I'm going to start building that pinkish red shade. So I'm gonna start with Love Letter and then I'll dip slightly into Venetian Red as I see fit, just to match the color that I have on my other eye. We're gonna stick on more the outer 2/3 for this. I'm just building opacity with these shades now that I've got them blended where I want them. We're just building it up so you can't see my skin through it. Going back to that Wet n Wild brush, I'm dipping that into a little bit of Buon Fresco just to tone down these colors a little bit, ground it back down. I have to say, I've never felt like good after a Thanksgiving meal until this year, and I felt totally fine. I didn't bloat, I didn't feel sick, I didn't any of those things. Now I'm going to take a real sophisticated tool, my finger, and go right into Antique Bronze. We're going to put this all over the lid. Again, I say that and then I don't put it on the very outer corner because we're going to put a matte shade out there for depth. So don't bring this all the way out. I also don't like to bring this up too high because I don't want to cover any of the crease work that we did. Going back to that pointed synthetic brush, just for the amount of color it can lay down, I'm going to mix a little bit of Cypress Umber with this Love Letter and Venetian Red and tap off the excess. Excess, not access, jeez. Can't talk today. Then I'm going to tap this onto the outer corner. I'm going to go back to that Wet n Wild one more time and just blend. Sorry if my hair is getting in the way. I did just blow dry it, so I don't really want to put a kink in it by putting it back or something. Now I'm taking this tiny little inner corner brush and I'm going to dip it into Primavera, and then I'm going to mist it with a little bit of Fix Plus. You can use whatever setting spray you have handy. I'm going to put this just on the inner third of my eye. I'm going to, with just a little bit of Vermeer, I'm going to place this right above my tear duct for even more brightening. Alright, I'm going to move on and do some face makeup off camera, and then I will come back and finish up the lower lash line with you guys in a minute. Alright, dreamers, let's finish up the lower lash line now that I have the rest of my face on. I really want to do something warm. I really want to play with this Real Gar and maybe a little bit of burnt orange. We might throw some red ochre in there just to kind of tie it together. But I just adore this deep orange shade. On a shading brush by Real Techniques, I'm going to take a little bit of burnt orange and run that along my lower lash line. Using a smudge brush from Real Techniques, I'm gonna mix Real Gar with a tiny bit of red ochre, but I'm gonna use mostly the orange shade. And I'm just gonna push that right up against the lower lashes. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my face up real quick with some brow gel, setting spray, and then finally mascara, and I will check in with you in just a second. Alright dreamers, this is our completed eye look. Sorry, my eyelashes are getting stuck together. This tutorial. If you guys enjoy these one eye recreations with me, please give this video a big thumbs up so that I know. If you guys would like another tutorial with this Modern Renaissance palette, please let me know what kinds of look, or at least what kind of color you would like me to focus on for the next one. This is a slightly different rendition of the look that I was wearing in the video where I demoed this for you guys in my haul. So I added more of Love Letter since I haven't been using that, and Vermeer since I hadn't used that yet either. As I mentioned before, Antique Bronze is like my favorite. It's my go-to right now. That is the color that we had all over the lid before we added those accent colors in the inner corner. I really enjoy this palette. I think it is wonderful. I think it is a great value, and I love this. I mean, I can tell you I've been reaching for it over and over again, even in conjunction with other things. I don't think there's been a single day since I've received this that I haven't used this palette. Definitely stand by this investment. It was a good one. I enjoy this eye look. I used the Kat Von D primer because I think it locks it in just the absolute best all day. My eyeshadow looks the same when I wash it off as it does right now. I am wearing a little bit of Kat Von D Lovecraft lip liner on my lips with some balm underneath. Also, just FYI, I cannot stop reaching for this. I added this to my Amazon cart a little while back. It was an add-on item for like $6 or $7. I adore this highlight. I thought it was going to be too dark for me. It's the highlight I'm wearing today. It's the highlight I've been wearing nonstop for like 2 weeks. I adore this. I haven't been reaching for anything else. You can see there's plenty of damage to the design because I just can't stop reaching for this. Even when I use something else, I find myself wanting to top it up with a little bit of this Molten Gold by Maybelline. So great product. If you have not tried this out yet and you're in need of a highlighter, I would highly recommend this, especially if you have any bit of warm undertone to your skin. And just to let you guys know as well, I have been experimenting with baking in the last couple of days. So if my under eyes look different to you, please let me know if they look better or worse to you than they have in the past. I would be curious to know. I did bake my under eyes with the RCMA No Color Powder today. That being said, I did also learn that you can potentially ruin your makeup by baking with this powder if you do it wrong or you take too long or something. Did not have the camera running for it, so I couldn't show you, but basically I had permanent white specks that I had to like buff out with another powder because they were clinging to creams underneath. I couldn't get the powder to come off, so that was interesting. I've really been enjoying how my makeup wears throughout the day when I bake under my eyes and down my nose. I tend to lose a lot of coverage on my nose. Foundation just doesn't adhere to it very well. So I've been baking down my nose and under my eyes, and I've really been enjoying it. So let me know what you guys think. This is the first video I've filmed rocking that look, so let me know if you have a strong opinion either way. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day or evening wherever you are. I hope you keep dreaming, and I will see you in my next video.